Hey, hey, hey. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 11, maybe 12. I do not remember. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. I'm tired. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. I just do not know. I do know, but oh my gosh, it's that time, ladies, and I just be feeling drained those first 2 days. Those first 1 or 2 days, excuse me. But we gonna get into this review though, nevertheless. So we've been watching, we've been watching Ready to Love for a long time, right? We know how this goes. We've been watching Ready to Love all 10 seasons, 11 if you count COVID year, which I don't know why they don't call it a season. It's always thrown me off because this is technically season 11. But we all know that you do not play your connections down to the wire. By the time you leave the trip, you should know who your person is. You really should know before that, but if you got more than one connection before the trip, you should only have one after the trip. Anytime somebody plays their connection down to the wire, it is always a recipe for disaster. Cam, brother, what are you doing? You do not play and it don't matter if it's a woman or a man who does this. Anybody who does it, it ends up being wrong. Even if y'all make it to the end of the show, whoever your person is, by the time y'all get to the reunion, y'all be darn near scrapping. You know what I'm saying? So I already know Cam is messing up. Okay? So we get to the elimination period. We pick up where we left off. Deanna ends up going home. Now, I knew Deanna was going to go home. It wouldn't surprise me if Deanna had already packed her bags and had them waiting at the steps when Khalil called her name, because Deanna knew she was going home. She took it very well. Khalil ends up asking her, I need to know where we stand. Do you feel like this is more of a friendship, or am I somebody you could see yourself with? She says right now it's definitely more of a friendship for her. They get along. She has realized a lot about herself in this process. Perhaps she does come off as very hyper independent, and that's something she could work on. She does say that she doesn't necessarily look, quote unquote, for love. She allows love to find her, and that's what she gonna do. Okay, so she get her stuff. I didn't see her get her stuff, but I imagine she got her stuff and went on. And so we know Khalil's probably going to be exiting soon as well, because what other connections does he have outside of Deanna? I mean, he got Taye, but Taye, we going to talk about that. We going to talk about that doggone Taye. Now, Angie. I knew Angie was going to be safe, but Cam and Angie's connection to me is pretty much dead. I don't know why Cam later on in the show was like, well, Angie is still one of my connections. No, she's not. Stop. Angie is not one of your connections. She's not even a safe option for you if everybody else don't work out. You and Angie are completely different. You all are physically attracted to each other, but outside of that, there's nothing else going on. He's still irritated by the whole I bust the windows out the car situation. And Angie is like, I did that. And Cam said, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, that kind of stuff is like toxic to me. Like, if I was to mess up, and Angie said, so don't make it a problem. Listen, they not going to see eye to eye on this situation, and Cam just needs to leave it alone and focus on his other two connections. And it's about to be one connection, and it's about to be zero if you keep playing it like this. That never works. So anyway, they get up and leave. Angie's still ready to love, but I don't really know if it matters, because I don't think Hussein is really on Angie like that either, but it remains to be seen, I guess. What are y'all doing? All right, later on they play some games, not as messy as they usually are, so maybe we're making some improvements there. I would like to take this moment to pause really quick, because I told somebody new here that I would explain why we call nephew Tommy Uncle Tyler Perry. It is because, nephew Tyler Perry. I told y'all I was tired. We call him Nephew Tyler Perry because if you've ever watched the stage plays, particularly the Medea stage plays, whenever they bring out Tyler, they say, your writer, your producer, and Medea. And everybody's clapping and everybody's standing up. That's exactly how they treat Tommy on Ready to Love. I don't know why. He's not the writer. He's not the producer. He's simply just the host. But you would think that he did everything on this show the way they get to clapping and carrying on. So that's why I call him Nephew Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. It's a play on words. Anyway, they play some games. Have y'all noticed that Cisco is always just kind of sitting. I wonder if he's shy. I feel like every time they go to a scene, Cisco is sitting in a chair. He's with the group, but he's not with the group. He kind of like off to the side. All we learned from this little game is that Taye doesn't like spontaneous sex. Kiara's still a little bit irritated with Jay, but she's determined to have a good time. Jay, well, Kiara forces Jay to say that he liked to push his partner's buttons. Who else? I feel like we found out some other people. Oh, Angie don't believe in giving 100% in her relationship. Did y'all notice she didn't drink to that? She was like, 100%. I don't do that. I thought that was funny. And what other revelations did we come to? Nothing really, child. Y'all know how these little games go. Drink if you do this, drink if you do that. You know, never have I ever but a card edition. Anyway, cards and shots. So the little games were cute. Let's move on to the next part of the show. Somebody tell Taye, don't piss me off, okay? Taye and Khalil get to the side for a chat because Khalil got to figure out if he gonna stay on the show or not. What we discover is that Taye is really feeling Cisco, and she's feeling Cisco even more after Khalil tells her, okay, he reveals to her that while he is feeling her, he loved their connection, she loved the connection as well that they have. He ain't really gonna be ready for the kids thing. Like, marriage, he cool, but kids, not for another 4 to 5 years. He want to travel with his partner. He want to be married for a while. He want to do the things. And Taye is flabbergasted because, you know, I wanted to have kids 2 years, 3 years. That's what my time frame is for having children. I want to have children as soon as possible. So why wouldn't you tell me that? Like, I don't want to be having my first child when I was 40. So I'm saying, like, you should have been transparent about that. That should have been something. Y'all know how Taye get. So Khalil was just like, I didn't really feel like it was the time to discuss that. I didn't know how close we were going to get. And so I didn't really put that on the table at the time. Taye feels like she was more open with him and let him know everything on the front end. And she should have let him know. He should have let her know on the front end as well. While I don't disagree that you should, like, I think at a certain age when you date, it's okay to talk about timelines because we are of a certain age. It's not like we're in our 20s. However, it's not really a huge difference between 2 to 3 years and 4 to 5 years. To me, that sounds like something that could be met in the middle on, but it can't be met in the middle when you've already decided who you want to be with. I think Taye has already decided she wanted Cisco. She hasn't been spending any time with Khalil. They haven't really been talking while they were in the house. I think Cisco and her are sleeping together. So I just not sleeping together like that, but in the same room. I just don't think she wanted Khalil, period, and this gave her a good reason to walk away. I don't think there was any reason to get bent out of shape about it. I would have been like, okay, cool. Like, we ain't on the same page on that. So, you know, I think we've built a beautiful friendship. Let's move on. But I don't really think it was so much of a betrayal that she did not know, especially since the time frame, to me, wasn't even that drastic. But she's already set her bets on Cisco, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. And trust me, we will. Y'all want to go to it now? Because we can. Taye meets up with Cisco outside because he's going to give her a lovely massage. They're going to have a little cute date night poolside, right? I got so many things to say. I'm trying to organize it. Okay, first of all, let's go back. Since we just had the conversation about Khalil, let's go there. You mean to tell me that him wanting to have children in 4 to 5 years versus 2 to 3 years, which is what you want to do, that to you is a bigger deal breaker than not having any type of stability and not having stable housing? You want to have children in 2 to 3 years with in that situation, because you don't know if it's going to get better or not. You don't know that yet. Versus somebody who's already stable, they just want to spend some time with their partner before they start having kids. That was a deal breaker. Let's be honest. You like who you like. That's really all it is. It don't have to make sense to you. You just like who you like. So that's why I said turning up on Khalil the way, I mean, she wasn't lightweight. She was turning up a little bit. I don't see why you would need to do all that. You already know who you like. You already know who you want. You already know that it don't really make sense. So I think that's why you tried to find yourself irritated with something else and trying to make it look like somebody lied by omission to you, or, you know, withheld the truth and really betrayed your trust, because there's no need to make Khalil look bad or make it look worse than what it was so that you could go on over to Cisco. Just go on over there, you know, and live in your truth. Another thing I was going to say, she was talking about how nobody had ever done anything like this for her. I think this is part of the problem. I think a lot of women fall for like really sweet gestures and romantic gestures because I sometimes wonder if a lot of us have not experienced kindness, not only from a man, but from ourselves, from our friends, from our family. Cause hell, I done gave a homegirl a massage. Not like that, you know. Y'all keep y'all's mind. If your mind went to the gutter, get it out, okay? But I've given my homegirls massages. I give my homegirl a back massage. If you in pain, I don't want you to be in pain, right? And I'm gonna do something kind for you. I've paid for friends to get massages, you know. So, and of course, if I've been with a man, I'll just say it. Like, y'all don't be scared to ask these men for what y'all want. They want some coochie. So you go ahead and get what you need out of the deal. Like, my back hurt. My feet hurt. I'm tired. I could use a bath. I could use a massage. I could use a good rub now and then fall asleep. That's the trick. No, I'm just kidding. They gonna want it when you wake up anyway. But yeah, go ask for what you want. Like, these are very nice things, but these can be very common. Like, I've been with people who will give me a massage on a regular, because I don't mind requesting it, or that might just be who they are. But, you know, start treating yourself well. You know, make sure if you want a massage, go and get that. And then after that, require other people to treat you well too. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, and y'all can do that for each other as well, but it shouldn't be too much. I'm in my mid-30s and I've never had a man do something like this for me. This is this is free. You know, first of all, this is a massage by the pool. Y'all could have did that down to the hotel. Y'all could have did that at the house. Y'all could have did that at the Airbnb. Like, you get what I'm saying? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like the bare minimum seems like a lot when you're not receiving anything. So let's get ourselves in a position of receiving more, right? Yes, receive that. So there's that. I was irritated with Taye though, because you like this man, you know he not stable, just live in that. You ain't got to make nobody else seem no kind of way. That was my problem. That was my issue. But what did y'all think about it? Do you think Cisco's a good choice? I don't think Cisco's a good choice. I'll be honest, I don't. I think stability means a lot. The close, he is already in his 40s, I think. I think stability means a whole lot. I also am concerned about the amount that Cisco sweats when nobody else is sweating. He is sweating profusely all the time. It makes me wonder if he got a little bit of the pressure. Do you have high blood pressure, Cisco? I would like to know what his vitals are. I know he look good, but that don't mean nothing. Hell, I look good, but my cholesterol, the bad one, has been quite high several times. Living in my truth here. So yeah, you got to get all that looked. I'm happy to report I am not on medication and I have my cholesterol down. Thank you very much. Okay. But it has in the past. So yeah, we want to make sure we know what's going on here, because the boy is very sleepy and he sweats a lot, and I just want to make sure we good. But it don't matter how much we're concerned or what we say, because a hard head make a what? Soft ass. And Taye ain't got no ass. So I already know she gonna be real hard-headed. She gonna do what she want to do. Kiara is still very much irritated by the situation with Sahara and Jay. She's tried to get over it. They've been a little cool. They done talked about it, but she still don't know if she all the way there just yet, because when they did talk about it, she ain't really like what Jay was saying anyway. Jay is still apologizing. He's still letting her know, like, look, I did do that. I apologize for the way it looked. And she was like, we had a whole conversation about not setting boundaries and not making me look crazy. So for you to come in there and act like I was tripping, and he was like, I understand what you're saying. Like, you definitely are my number one. There is nobody else. And she was like, oh, there is nobody else. So Sahara was not your connection. You rub the neck of people that you're not connected to. Because what if I told you that me and this dude wasn't on nothing, somebody else in the house, but you see me rubbing their back, rubbing their neck? You would be tripping too. He understands what she's saying, but he is insisting that it ain't nothing with Sahara. So she was like, oh, if it ain't nothing, then let's call her in there and y'all should be saying the same thing. And Jay was like, hold on, no, you call her in here and I'm going to tell her what it is. Did y'all hear him trying to clean it up when she was trying to leave? So she go get Sahara, and Sahara's just like, okay, yeah, what's up? I love Sahara. And Kiara's just like, okay, well, Jay is saying that you guys do not. No, she asked Sahara, do y'all have a connection? And Sahara was just like, well, yeah. Yeah, we do. I thought we did. And Jay was like, no, you already know, Sahara, like, for real. I don't call you like that. I don't text you like that. I don't call you baby. I ain't took. What do calling somebody baby? Listen, this remind me of a situation I had went through with this guy one time. Me and this girl both had pulled up to the house, and he was trying to make it seem like he wasn't on nothing, right? Like, well, I don't really even deal with you like that. Excuse me, you've been in both our bodies. Let's not. Boy, please. But this is a little more mild, okay? This is more of a mild situation. So Sahara is just like, well, I mean, I thought we was on something, but I guess not. I don't really know what Jay is talking about, but we definitely was talking. We definitely was texting. He's been in my connections. Like, he has been a part of my connections. And Kiara was like, yeah, but that's not what he's saying. So she looking at Jay, and Jay is like, and she's looking at Jay and asking for some type of explanation, to which I told y'all what Jay said. Jay saying they wasn't on nothing. It never seemed like that to him. And she was like, I mean, we are on a dating show. And I said, thank you, Sahara. That's been my point the whole time. Like, I understand Jay and Kiara had a conversation, but right after y'all had that conversation, if y'all wasn't going to date nobody else or be interested in nobody else, then that's when you had a conversation as to whether or not you want to stay on the show, period. Whether or not you want to go on the trip, period. Because did y'all hear Jay when Sahara made that comment and she was like, we supposed to be dating other people? Jay looked at Kiara, pointed at Kiara and said, well, yeah, she told me to date other people. And Kiara was like, well, I did, but what are we talking about here? I see why Sahara got up and left, because y'all coming at me asking me were we even connected. Jay, you saying we were not connected, which I don't think they were that strongly connected. Okay, I'll be clear on that. But Jay, you coming at me telling me we were not connected, but then at the same time, I feel like both of y'all are saying Jay had the freedom to be connected to somebody else if he wanted to, because you gave him the freedom. So what? The freedom was there, but you just can't touch him? Like, what is this? This is a dating show. See, Sahara was like, I don't even care. I don't want to talk about it no more. And she get up and leave. And I was glad. Because Jay, it was stupid to me. It was stupid to me. Y'all already had an agreement before you got here. Kiara, you feel like Jay violated the agreement. Keep it between y'all. Don't call me in here. So then Kiara tells Jay, that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't even check her. Check who? Now you say your problem is not with Sahara, so why do you want her to get checked? Check for what? All he needs to check is himself and make sure he good with you. There's no other checking that need to go on. Okay? Don't nobody need to get checked. All he need to say is, I'm sorry if I gave you another impression. I'm sorry. And he keep apologizing to Kiara. He ain't really apologizing to Sahara. It's, well, I'm sorry for the way it looked. No, you owe Sahara an apology if you ever made her feel like y'all were connected in any way, or if there was any chance when you want to be with this girl right here. And both of y'all need to leave. All right? I need to be seeing y'all leaving next week. ASAPtually. Because this don't make no sense to me. I'm glad Sahara got up and left. Kiara and Jay, y'all figure y'all stuff out. Y'all should have been left the show if ain't nobody allowed to touch, talk to you, tickle you, make you laugh, whatever y'all boundaries are. Go ahead and go home. All right, let's move on to Hussein and Angie. I actually thought this little conversation was cute. I wanted Angie to go a little bit deeper. She didn't, but we go a little bit more into the whole leadership conversation. What does that look like for you? She talks about how strong she can be. She talks about her family situation. She said her mom's a homemaker and her mom has always held it down. But her mom, she hints, I feel like she's hinting at the fact that my mom holds it down, but my mom is also a very strong woman. So if you want to be with somebody like me, know that I am strong. And know that if you want to lead, you really got to be bringing that. Like, it's really got to be that, though. Like my daddy. And you got to make sure I feel comfortable in your presence. You got to bring that stability. Hussein confuses me because he talks like a lot of men, in my opinion. Like, they talk about wanting to lead, but then they also kind of talk in, I really do want a very strong woman, and I want a woman that's going to kind of be involved in this partnership situation. Like, it almost feels like I want you to be strong and I want you to make a lot of decisions where I can't, but make sure I look good in it. Like, make sure you don't emasculate me. Make sure I look like the leader. Like, make sure I look like the one. Sometimes that's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's what he's getting at, but that's kind of, he might have just been choosing his words carefully. I'm open to explore that, but I don't know. I wish Angie would have probed a little bit further. But I will say, for all these men who, they want to lead, they want to be in a position to lead, make sure that you are a good leader. Like, the probing questions I would ask would be like, okay, well, what leadership qualities do you feel like you had? When are the last time that you did lead a team? What's the most important part about being a leader to you? Do you believe a leader has also a servant's heart? You better answer yes to that question, because you cannot lead if you do not know how to serve. You cannot lead if you are not willing to put yourself last. You cannot lead if you are not willing to take the L. You cannot lead if you are not willing to take accountability if something goes awry. That is what the leader does. If you've ever led a team, you are responsible for the entire team. Yes, you hold other people accountable for not doing what they were supposed to do. But if the whole thing goes to shit, most people are looking at you, the leader. Okay, the captain of the ship. Same thing with the military. Most people are looking at the leader. Okay, that's whose ass they getting into. And then that leader getting everybody else. So I would ask those kind of questions. I would ask, had you read any books on leadership? Because leadership is not innate. Some people are born leaders, like they have certain qualities, but you have to fine tune that. So who's your mentor? What other leaders have you learned from? What books have you read? What programs have you studied? What are you leading right now, today, in your life? At this moment, what do you feel like you're leading? I need to know the answers to these questions. While I'm constantly talking about me and telling you who I am and what I am, I need to know where those leadership qualities are and when's the last time you led a team to success. But yeah, I thought this conversation was cute. I feel like Angie is really trying to fill it out. I don't know though, but I don't know about her and Hussein. I don't know if I feel like they're strongly connected. It's giving homie. Everything with Angie is giving more homie vibes, but I'm physically attracted to the homie. Next, we see Cam talking to Rose, because Cam wants to see if him and Rose are still good, because she's really been around Hussein mostly. And that's because, Cam, you ain't made no firm decisions. I told you playing it too tight, my boy. But anyway, Rose. Okay. I hope y'all don't mind me saying this. It's not a term that I use often because I don't really like the term. I feel like it's overused. But Rose is a very sneaky, sly, elusive, nurturing, oh my gosh, my black king, quiet, but I still really want to throw that ass a little bit, slightly think I'm better than, pick me. That's what she's giving to me. Yeah, just throw some flowers on it, just throw a little magic, throw a little kindness, throw a little empathy on it, a little therapy talk, therapy talk and pick me. Now, you got to be careful with them. Because you can't really see exactly what they doing. You got to really examine. But the more I watch her, the more I get the vibes of, I'm just this elevated and I've done the work type of woman. And, you toxic whores, y'all can't mess with me on your best day. And these kings need a me. They need a rose that grew from concrete. And I'm not feeling it. And the reason why I'm not feeling it, if this is who you are and that's true to you, it's not really a big deal. Some women are very nurturing in that way. But Rose, to me, is doing it from a place of, I'm on a different level than these women. But to me, she ain't doing nothing but telling these men what they want to hear. Because did she not say that she prefers a man whose spirituality is intact, that's going to go to the throne of grace and mercy with her, but she know good and full well that Cam is not going to do that. So why are you sitting here talking to Cam and entertaining Cam like y'all got this strong connection and y'all so elevated and you understand him so well and all this other stuff and he's one of my connections? She even said in later on in Deliberation that I believe me and Cam have a connection that's way different from the other women. Like you elevating it up, higher, Even though you know he's really not the type of man that you should want anyway. He's not the type of man that you should be having these type of romantic dealings with anyway, because he doesn't have a major component that you said you want. So it makes me wonder, are you saying these things because they sound good? Or are you saying these things because you really want them? And then even if you do really want them, but a man says he doesn't have them and he's going to walk away, and leave you to it, do you then try to pretend that you with it just so this man won't go nowhere? Because that's pick me behavior. That's technically what the definition is. You would do anything to be picked. You don't want that, girl. So that's the part that's confusing me. So either you lying about wanting it, or you lying about it being okay if you don't get it. I'm confusing myself now. But all I'm saying is I'm not buying what she's selling. Okay? Y'all like Rose? Y'all probably like Rose. Y'all probably think I'm a bitch, and that's fine. We can disagree today. Okay? We can agree to disagree. But that's how I feel about Rose. And what else? Am I done with the things at the house? Are we ready to move to the deliberation? Let me check my notes. All right, when the ladies meet up, of course they have to get ready to eliminate somebody. Kiara talks about how she's been feeling about the situation with Jay. She was really irritated with him and the whole thing with Sahara. Sahara didn't have much to add, but Jay's ass is grass. Angie said her and Cam did not come to any type of conclusion, and she ain't too sure about her and Hussein these days. Rose says, I told y'all that her and Cam have a special connection that's different from the other ladies, and it's just a little bit more elevated. And Sahara was like, how you know that? How you know you got a connection that's different from what we got? Like, who told you that? And she was just like, because I take the time. You see what I'm saying? I take the time to get to know my person, and the other women don't. And how are you getting a read on that based on their behavior when y'all are in a group setting? You don't know how they are when they are with Cam. Listen, you don't know. Hey, don't speak on these men. You don't know what go on when it's just them one-on-one. You have no idea. So to say that to me sounded more like I said earlier, you toxic whores could never F with me, okay, on your best day. That's what it was giving to me, all right? Who else? Are they the only 4 ladies? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, Taye. Taye talks about the whole Khalil situation, but I've already gone over that at length. They got to figure out who they gonna eliminate, and we'll probably see who it is next. Oh, actually, we saw this week. They ended up sending Khalil home, which we knew that was gonna happen. I don't think Khalil gonna have any problems. I actually think Khalil probably got a girl waiting on him at home right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he was engaged at the reunion. I don't think Khalil's gonna have any trouble finding anybody. The only thing I think Khalil did, he played it safe the whole time. He didn't really get in with anybody. He's the type that kind of let the woman make the decision instead of kind of leaning into who he wants. And so I think that shot him in the foot. He goes on home. Jay ends up being able to stay. Of course, Kiara was playing games with him like he was going to have to go home. He wasn't going nowhere. I want these two off my television screen. When they walked out that restaurant, they needed to walk into each other's lives in that moment and off of the show. Because y'all don't want nobody else. You don't even want to entertain nobody else. And I understand this is the end of the show. Part of the show is making it to the end, but for y'all, this is the end. It's not like y'all winning no cash prize. So just go ahead and go home. Pack it up. you got to go on a trip. Pack it up. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I know I said a lot. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.